Welcome back to another episode of Armchair Pundits. We have now reached the final of Euro 2024 and England will be facing Spain. But before that, you can see we've got a full house. First time ever. Welcome, guys. How y'all doing?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
We're doing well.
Amazing.
Sounded a little bit American there, James. How you all doing? I like that.
I thought I'd switch up a bit, you know. I'm very good at accents. I might bring my Irish one later.
Irish, yeah?
Right. We'll remember that one. Yeah, we're there. We're in the house.
Maybe he's pretending to be from Memphis or Nashville or somewhere in
Boy.
Tennessee.
Boy.
Shots fired already.
See? But you know, it's the Memphis accent didn't last very long, did it?
It seems like someone put some voodoo or something on Memphis, boy. I don't know.
Bro.
Memphis had
But
an imposter out there, and he's going to make a quick exit.
This is what Man United fans did to Memphis when he was there, innit?
I'm just gonna let you know, yeah. The reason why I'm wearing black is just to play.
Is it in mourning, yeah?
I'm in mourning, basically. Memphis is dead, guys. He's not coming back.
Funny enough, I'm wearing black for the same reason, bro. This is like a funeral, but
Darryl didn't get a memo. Darryl still has hope.
Yo, I'm the pastor out here. R.I.P. Memphis. R.I.P.
Okay. Well, the first semi-final, we had Spain versus France. Bevan, what was your view on the game?
I thought it was a great game of football. In the beginning, like Spain were on top, and then France were trying to sit back and get them on the counter. Yeah, they scored, but then Spain started to come into the game and just work magic. Like the way that Spain play together as a team is unbelievable. Like they open up space for each other, they make unselfish runs. It's just crazy. And German police are still looking for Yamal, and they're looking for Dani Olmo because Rabiot got put in a spliff in a blender and then murdered, and then Tchouaméni, Dani Olmo, that touch was sublime. What amazing. And then in the second half, when they needed to play like ugly and just sit back and just defend, they just defended. And like those guys, they don't waste passes. They make the right decisions all the time. It was fantastic, great to watch, man. I love that game.
Who was your man of the match?
Man of the match, it's gonna be between Dani Olmo and Ruiz, but I might, for the goal, I'm going to give it to Dani Olmo because that's his clutch. That's what you need from a guy who wasn't supposed to start. He's only come on because Pedri's injured, and he wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Pedri. And he's just come on and has stepped into his shoes and has been clutching in moments in games. So I got to give it to Dani Olmo.
Cool. The former Memphis Monts.
Listen, right. Let me just set the record straight. Me and Memphis are two different people. Okay, first of all, we're two different people. I'm Monts. I'm just Monts. Let me just give you 1 second. Let me just put this to bed. 1 second. Can you see this? Oh, the mic.
Did the headband wash out?
You see this? Moving forward, right? You have to break the glass if you want to see him again, right? You can't away. That's it. He's dead. He's dead to me.
R.I.P. Memphis.
Right, moving on swiftly, because Memphis, yeah, we'll go into that a little bit later, I'm sure. The Spain and France game is what I expected it to be honest, and I think everyone was looking forward to that game, and it didn't let me down one bit. What I will say, though, is Spain showed that they have more gears in their game. Like, they played neutral, they went first gear, second gear. They showed it all. They showed what they're about, pressing. They showed how to, just retain the ball, game management. They showed every single level during that game, and it was nice to see that it weren't, the boring 3, 4, 500 passes and just kind of going back and forth back. It was very much, all right, you want to score first? Right, watch this. We're going to high press. We're going to win the ball back. And we're going to give it to one of our explosive wingers, and he's going to put it top bins. Round of applause to Yamal, by the way. Yeah, it was a really good match. It was really good to see. I was really let down by France, though, as you know. I mean, I was an advocate for France from the off, and I really did feel that, Mbappe would turn up at any time, but he just didn't. He was really disappointing, and he had an opportunity, at the end of the game, 5 minutes before the end, or, less than that, to really clutch the game and, really stand up in front of everyone and say, yeah, I am him. He is not him.
I don't know how you missed that.
Everybody, even people that don't watch football and they just know Mbappe, sees him cut him on his right and thinking, this is a goal. Guy puts it in the bleachers. You think, what? So I feel like now he's out of the shop window. He almost doesn't need to perform tricks anymore. You know what I mean? He's guy Madrid. That's it. Generational. He's nice. So yeah. Spain and France, really good game. And I'm hoping Spain can carry that on into the final. I mean, hoping. I know they will, without a doubt. I know they will, man. I know they will. But yeah.
Your man in the match?
All right, so my man of the match, it's got to be Olmo. And I'll tell you why. Because rightly said by Bev, it was the deputizing. He stepped in at the drop of a hat and it was seamless. And also, to caveat that, he's a match winner. Like, the geezer's coming in, changing the game, scoring goals when they need it most, and raising the energy within the team. You can see it straight away. He's doing things that are just outrageous. I mean, the touch that he took to go past Tuchel, I mean, I just shook my head like, no, he's got to shoot. I don't even know why I said it, because I knew he was going to shoot anyway. And I know they blocked it and they didn't. Did they give him the goal? All right, they rewarded him the goal in the end, didn't they? Yeah, because there was a little bit of a dubious one.
I wasn't sure if it was going on target, though, personally, but I don't know.
I feel like it was going to go posting in, to be quite frank. Yeah, there's been quite a few of those posting in during this tournament, later stages of the tournament anyway. But regardless of the fact, you can't take away, the initiative just to, the initiative to just, take the touch past the defender, give him a little jinky, and he's putting it back corner. Keeper had no chance. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, Olmo is my man of the match.
Cool. Over to you, Lee.
Yeah, I felt the game kind of went the way I expected it to go in terms of the flow of plays. Spain dominating the ball as per usual. But I think, as Mont rightly said, it's not just tiki-taka for no reason, just keeping possession. They try to play direct at times as well. And I think for the way the unity of their team is unreal. And I think De La Fuente, being the manager through the ranks, being around these guys, being around the setup for so long has definitely paid dividends, because it doesn't matter who steps in at the moment. It just seems to work. I mean, Navas obviously went to sleep for the goal for Kolo Muani, because he kind of gave Mbappe too much space to put the cross in. But other than that, Mbappe didn't really he didn't really have much effect on the game, and that's partly due to the way that he was defended. Spain seem to make good subs. Whoever comes in seems to make the team continue to play the way they want to play. And yeah, I just felt it didn't seem to me like France knew what to do. And we've seen this in the past where France kind of like suck teams in and play on a counter attack, but you never really got the feeling that they could do that. They could do that to the Spain team, and that's something that we're not used to seeing, because we've seen them in previous tournaments. They do enough just to win, but this time it wasn't enough. And you have to credit Spain. Dani Olmo, as the guys have already said, he's now had 4 consecutive games with goal contributions. I think he's got 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 4 games. So for him to have come in and as a technically the substitute for Pedri, what he's done for that team has been amazing, and it just shows the strength in depth that they have. So fair play to Spain, and I think they've been the best team in the tournament so far, and they deserve to be in the final for sure.
They've won every game.
There you go.
No extra time, no penalties for them.
No.
Your man in the match?
Yeah, Danny Olmo again.
Omar. Okay.
Yeah.
Over to you, D.
Yeah, I would say that semi-final definitely lived up to expectations. I think France did well at the start. They came out quite well, played very well, got the early goal, and you're thinking, okay, France. This is the kind of France we're looking forward to be seeing. They might turn up all of a sudden. And Mbappe did the one thing he's done in this tournament, I guess, is get an assist. And you thought, okay, maybe they can go on from there. But obviously, we know what happened after that. Spain came straight back into it, and Yamal with the stunner, absolute stunner. But it's not a surprise. I've seen him do it before at youth level for Spain. He's just doing it on the big stage now for the first team, and I'm not surprised. It was a great goal, got them straight back into it, and from that goal, you felt like the game completely changed. After that, Spain were just rampant. They was going through the gears, like Lamont said. Um, the triangles were just too much, and unlike other Spain teams in the past, like Leon said, it feels like they've got a plan with what they're doing. They're going forward. They're creating spaces. They're getting the players into spaces, and they're taking that attack and that threat forward. But then on the other side of things, once they was 2-1 up in the second half, they kind of just locked it down, and there was parts of the game where I saw a naughty side to Spain, which you don't normally see from them. You know, certain man's heads got planted in the ground, and there's getting away with some. I know James was upset about that.
It's a violation, bro.
That was shithousery at its finest. I don't care.
But you know what?
Yeah, it's a violation.
The fact that Spain were doing those kind of things and like some of the fouls that they're doing were smart as well, it just goes to show that they realize that there's levels to this which we have to go to sometimes, rather than all the pretty fancy stuff and sometimes not even going anywhere. There's levels we have to go to do what we need to do to get through to the next stages, get through to the final. And like you said, they've won every single game. And obviously they're going to the final now, probably on confidence. They've got to be the favourites. They've been the best team throughout the tournament. And really, like, it's going to be hard to see them not as the favourites and going into it thinking that they're the likely winners of the tournament at the end of it. But we'll talk about, obviously, the other team in there when we come on to that. But for me, perfect performance by them. They did what they had to do. And yeah, France didn't turn up, and Mbappe didn't turn up. Rabiot, I don't know why he even started. It's just like Deschamps, he's got to go because it's been too long
They've already
now.
confirmed.
Huh?
They've already confirmed he's staying. He's staying to the next World Cup. Confirmed it today already.
I don't get it. I know, respect to him for his career, and yeah, he's done bits with obviously the national team, but sometimes you need a change to freshen it up. They had probably the next best squad other than England, potentially. They had one of the best defensive records in the whole of the tournament, and they've got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. And we're talking about playing in Spain without imagine if Spain had a prime Torres. Can you imagine how deadly that team could be playing the way they are?
Or David Villa, jeez.
Or David Villa, for real. So, yeah.
Your man in the match?
Yeah, like everyone, I'm going to just make it a Connect 4 and say, yeah, Olmo. Because, like everyone said, he wasn't meant to be starting. He stepped up in the role. He's done what he's had to do. He's taken on the mantle. He's like I said, he's had goal assists. He's probably top goal scorer of the tournament as it stands, if you include the assists. So for me, he's the standout man of the match for me, definitely.
Okay, for me, it's a bit different. I looked at the game, and it's one of those games where, not in a big way, but where stats can fool you. Because obviously, as you guys know, I always look at stats and stuff like that as well. And you wouldn't have come out of that game thinking that France had the better opportunities, had the high XG, etc. You look at that game and think it was pretty much Spain's all day. But more shots on target, more shots off target, more block shots, more touches in the box, all came to France. And that's why you have to give credit to Spain, because they withheld little storms here and there. But the youth in them, where you think, are they going to crumble? Because like I said, a lot of us thought France were going to win the game because of how young they were. But they stepped up and they showed the unity, like you said, with a lot of them coming through the youth teams and winning. I think Darryl said it, and I put it in our group. A year ago, under 17s, semi-final against France, Yamal scored exactly the same goal, pretty much. But in that game, they lost 3-1. So I give Yamal credit because if you saw it, you had Rabiot come out and say that to get to a final, he needs to show a better part of himself, kind of thing. He needs to do more. And I thought to myself, why would you say that? Yes, he's 16, but why would you say that before a game? You're giving the kid opportunities to say, yeah, okay, cool. And he did it. Because like I said, I've asked you guys man of the match. For me, I look at it as much as Danny Olmo did for a 16-year-old to dominate that first half, because first half he dominated it. Second half, he tailed off a bit. But for him to dominate that first half at this level of football, for me, my man in the match was Yamal. Like the stuff that he's doing. Like, listen, my nephew's 17 and he's doing well, trying to get into an academy, and he's close to getting into the academy. And this guy's 16 playing in the Euro final on Sunday. That's the levels. That he's setting, and I just thought to myself, it's mad for someone to drop that on you, and obviously he would have seen it because at the end of the game, apparently he said, "What are you saying now?"
He's proper goaded him, innit? He's goading him, but that's you know what I mean. If you're gonna do that to a 16-year-old, you're gonna expect a response. He's raw, you know. He's fearless at that age. He got to a semi-final. He's in a national team at 16. He's feeling bossy. Of course, he's gonna step up.
Certain man will crumble, bro, but he is showing he's made a different stuff, man. Stuff.
Can I ask you guys? Can I ask you all a question though? Honestly, I know you're saying Deschamps should leave and stuff, right? And obviously, looking at the stats that you have, James. Yeah, looking at the stats that you have, right? I would strongly agree that France dominated when you look at the stats. Spain were more attractive to watch because they looked like they had a purpose, whereas France were almost trying to figure it out as they were going along, you know. But if Pogba was in that team, do you feel that game would have been different? Because I had this debate with my son probably yesterday evening, and also with some of my pals today. And I just said, you know, people rub out Pogba and say his attitude this and his attitude that, but with the arsenal that France have and the passing range and passing capabilities Pogba has from anywhere on the pitch, anywhere, whether it be 10 yards, 40 yards, he will put it on a sixpence, Do you think that result is different?
Yes, because not just him. Where his problem is, I said it to you guys. Why is Camavinga not starting ahead of Rabiot?
Yeah,
I do not understand. Number one. Number two, Koundé, yes, he plays right back for Barcelona, but I don't rate him as a right back.
He's a centre back.
He's a centre back. They've got good right backs coming through the ranks. They've got good right backs that are senior players. Malo Gusto, good young right back. Even if you don't start him, he's the kind of person that in that game, when they need a more attacking right back, you bring him off the bench. And then you've got an attacking right back that can help you. He doesn't have to play every single game, but I don't think he picked the right squad. Like, Pogba's not there, then find someone else that is a creative midfielder. Like, they bossed the midfield through sheer force, but there was no creativity in there. Let's be honest. So when you've got Mbappe that's not on it, then they've got nothing. Dembele, we all know, flitters in and out of games. 1 minute he's running past 7 players, but then he'll still kick it wide after being 7 players. The Barcola is young and fresh, but then you also look at, okay, cool. You've got Barcola, you've got Mbappe, and you've got Dembele. They spent the whole season together playing for PSG, winning the league. They have a bond up front. They've scored how many goals this season? Use them as a trio.
Facts.
Use them as a trio. When Barcola came on, that's when these stats started to change. Because Barcola was ripping...
Barcola come on and changed it up, definitely.
Yeah, bruv. He was ripping Nacho. Napo was getting torn a new one while he came on. And That's why I say it's his fault, because he didn't pick the right squad. Bruv, they didn't score a goal in open play until the semi-final. That's outrageous. For the level of squad they have, that's outrageous. So that's why I think time is done for him. Obviously, Zuzu's not on it yet, because I'm pretty sure if Zuzu says I want a job in this situation, they would have given it to him. But he's obviously not on it. But someone else has to take it.
Do you know what though? One thing I'll say is, even if Zizou comes in, he's still got to work with those same players. And
he doesn't. There's players that should have been brought in that haven't been brought
100%.
No, I hear that, but in terms of that squad with Barcola and with Dembele, they were skinning players for fun. They were doing the right things until the moment where they were playing the wrong pass.
But that's always been the problem with Dembele, especially. But Barcola's young, so you give him a blight. But Dembele's always been like that.
No, you're right. You give Barcola a blight, but in terms of like the eye test, and you can say you can have the stats, but in terms of on the eye, you can see him going past players, and they can have all this XG. But that final pass was missing, and that the difference between France and Spain is that when Spain had the ball, they took care of the ball.
Yeah,
and France didn't. They didn't take care. It was the free kicks he was putting in. The free kicks that Dembele were putting into the box were awful.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you can beat the guy if you can't play that pass if you can't slot the pass in for someone to have a tap in, or even there was a chance where he didn't make the run into the box, and when the crosses come in, it's come short or it's gone long, and then the threat's gone. So as well as they've got all the XG and all the stats, but when you just look at it from the eye, he's like, you wouldn't tell a youngster this is how you play football, because you got.
See now, Zidane would take that out of him. Like Zidane will have him playing at a level where he's more decisive. So I understand what you're saying, but Deschamps isn't making decisions based on the ability or the group of people he has. He's obviously either got like friends or like people that he looks to, and he's got like a little bit of a click with.
It's the same.
He's
with
not looking
Southgate.
at.
It's the same. They're the same.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the same mold.
I think that's what James is alluding to. He's like, if Zidane comes in now, he's looking at the whole list. He's just not looking at the last last championship. He's saying right now who's in form. So I get what you're saying, but
Monty,
this team that they've got here,
it goes back to your original point, right? You said about Paul Pogba. What is the problem with France's squad? They don't have one creative player who plays in midfield.
Nope.
Everyone is just industrious, energy. Like they're good ball winners. They take care of the ball, but no one can unlock a door from midfield. There's no one in the squad that can do that, and that's the reason why they struggle to create chances in open play. Griezmann played that role in the last World Cup, but Griezmann's been off it, and that's the reason why he got dropped. Is because he was playing in that kind of 10 role or that advanced midfielder role previously, but he hadn't played well in these last few games, and he's starting to show a little bit of wear and tear. He's getting old, so it's about the players that he didn't bring in more than it just being the coach, not doing a good job. You can't argue with his record. He's had 2 World Cup finals, 1 win. He's got to a Euros final and lost. He's got to a semi-final and lost this time. Like it's just a case of leaving out.
Time's up. Yeah, time's up.
I feel part of that reason of not having the creative player is why Rabiot started the games as well. Because realistically, out of those midfielders, he's probably the most with the ability of maybe creating something or playing a pass that could lead to something. So
I don't know, but you got Zaire Emery. I know he's young, but
he
you look at Yamal.
He didn't play him.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He should be. Emery should have played. I don't know. There's guys that we're probably even looking at the Olympic team that are probably should have been in there because they're younger, they're vibrant. It's just something different, and that's why I think his time is done. It should have been done. It's not, obviously, because he's got another 2 years for the World Cup, but he's going to have to revamp. I think they'll get through and they'll get to the tournament. But if he's doing the same thing he's doing now,
that's the thing. If he does the same thing he's doing now, and when has he changed to this point? He hasn't. So what is the expectation of him rejuvenating or changing it or bringing in the youngsters and giving them their chance and
Yeah.
stuff. I can't see it.
That's true. Yeah. So I think it's fair to say for all of us, biggest disappointment is probably Mbappe and Deschamps. I would say.
And France in general. France in general.
France
But
have been
then
as poor,
they
as
got
boring
to
to
a
watch as England,
quarterfinal,
bro.
so yeah.
Semi-final.
No, sorry, they got to the semi-final, so cracks are being papered over.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, one goal from open play, and that was in the semi-final itself. It's a bit crazy.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the game we just finished watching. Holland or Netherlands versus England. So we'll go reverse order this time. Darryl, over to you, Darryl.
Yeah, obviously, great start to the game for Holland. Smashes of a goal by Xavi Simons. At that point, you're thinking, oof, this has not gone to plan for England. Could be a bit peak. And then, obviously, they get awarded a penalty. I think
Was it a pen?
I think it was a bit soft. But nowadays, in the modern laws of this VAR and handballs in the box,
If you're at Tottenham Stadium,
it is.
Are you asking for that? If you're at Tottenham Stadium, are you saying penalty?
I'm asking for it as a fan of my home team. I'm asking for it.
Yeah.
But do I expect it to be given? It's 50-50 now.
Okay.
50-50. If I'm a Dutch fan, I'm fuming. I'm upset. I'm angry. But you know what? Penalty was given to Mont's disappointment. Kane stepped up and nestled it.
We didn't bottle it, did he? Once
he found his bottle in the first 20 minutes of a flipping semi-finals.
Right, he stepped up. You talk about penalties last game. He stepped up. He had a penalty which was critical at that point of the game for England, and he scored it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point on, England went on to play some of the best football they played all tournament.
Yeah,
all the way up until half time, and then the same usual, like I don't know, rigor mortis kicks in. I swear down, like, and then Southgate goes into some cocoon and doesn't know what's going on around him, doesn't make changes. But you know what? We was watching the game. I was watching it with Mons, and Mons said it as soon as he made the change finally, and said, "Oh, you might have made a master stroke here, bringing on Ollie. It's gonna happen." And he was like, "Okay." And then, like, literally 2 minutes before the goal, he was like, "There's one more chance in this game. It's gonna come." And then Watkins, boy, he made the run.
Brilliant
and that's
goal.
the difference between Kane being on the pitch. Like, people could have been asking for Ivan Toney to come on, but Watkins was the right guy to come on, and he made that run. The other substitute, Palmer, plays a beautiful ball into him. The first touch, then the swivel and shot was just perfection. Couldn't get better than that. And boy, that's all it took. Even as the substitutions were made, Saka was coming off here smiling. These men knew at that point they'd won it. Like, even if there had been an extra 4 or 5 minutes of extra time, these guys were confident, and instantly the subs that Southgate was making then, bringing off probably the man of the match for me would be definitely would have to go to the United youngster that was bossing the midfield, doing his thing, and I'm glad he stayed on for as long as he did. Gallagher came on instead. He went 3 at the back. Brought on Konza. Like, it's like they'd planned for this. They'd planned to just nick it.
He plans for everything.
Yeah, he planned to just nick it, get to the final, and shut everyone up. Because now everyone's going to have to be silent because Southgate's done it again. He's got to another Euros final, and the way this tournament's gone for them, you just never know. You just never know. It's crazy. You just never know.
Cool. We'll get there. We'll get there. So you've given your man of the match, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, obviously England falling behind again in the knockout stages, but I think it was a rather fortuitous penalty. It's a brilliant goal by Xavi Simons. Absolutely brilliant. He's shown his qualities in this tournament, and I think PSG they know they've got a gem. But yeah, the penalty, I don't think it was a penalty at all. The reason is the connection came from the follow through from Kane's strike. The challenge doesn't impede Kane striking the ball, and it goes high, wasn't on target, doesn't affect his motion in any way. So for me, it wasn't a pen, but they got given it, and fair play to Kane, he took it. I think he definitely milked the injury that he had. There was definitely a clash between their feet, but he definitely milked it, and I think that kind of favoured the decision making. I think that's what made them end up going to VAR and having a look at it. And the referee's giving the decision. Kane steps up, tucks the penalty away. It's 1-1, and from then on, England played with so much confidence. They looked like a different team. The best first half they've had for this whole tournament, and it's the kind of England performance that people were hoping they would see from the get-go, and it hasn't quite been there. But again, got to half-time. Unfortunately, I think Koeman made very clever substitutions to nullify England's midfield, because England were bopping the ball around really, really confidently. I think Rice, Mainu, Foden and Bellingham, were linking up really, really well. But as soon as he brought the extra midfielder on, it just shut down that whole that whole sort of midfield link. Second half, really, really poor. England still had a lot of possession. I mean, they had more possession than Netherlands, but neither team looked like scoring at all in the second half. And again, all it takes is one chance. And as Darryl said, bringing on Watkins was the right call, because they needed movement up there. They know that the Vrij and the Van Dijk, they've been playing the whole game. They're going to be a bit tired. Bring on Watkins, who likes to run channels. He likes to run into space. Exactly what he did for the goal. Makes a great run. It was a great ball from Cole Palmer. And it's literally two touch. One touch to control, tucks it in the bottom corner. So it's a great strike. And I'd have to agree. I felt England's midfield were pretty good. Mainu being the standout for me, along with Simons. But I'd have to give it to Mainu because he was on the winning team.
Cool. Mons?
Yeah, so game was interesting. As you know, I hedged my bets on my my mate Memphis's allegiance. It definitely fell flat after about 20 minutes. He's laying down, holding his hamstring. To be honest with you, I thought he was invincible, because that headband, I thought it had powers. Clearly didn't have not one iota of a flipping power. So, yeah, there's that. Outside of that, though, the game, in the middle, the middle of the game was a little bit flat for me, but the beginning and the end was where it was all at. I feel like there was definitely some contentious decisions, the penalty being one of them. I don't think that was a penalty. I mean, to be honest with you, what was his name? Was it Dumfries? He was kind of like blocking the shot. And like Leon said, Kane's follow through. It had less to do with Kane, less to do with Dumfries than it did with Kane. It's like,
You could have said it was a foul the other way.
well, this is it. I mean, to be honest, look, I know that this ref has been in the limelight for some very underhanded things prior to the Euros. I'm not going to go into any depths, but I'll be looking to see all banks transactions for the last 5 to 6 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, make sure we don't see any envelopes of the brown variety going through anybody's letterboxes. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, moving on from that, he stepped up. He obviously, got the bottle from somewhere. I don't know who, but well done to them for giving it to Kane, and he's put it in the onion bag as he should. England number 9 and all that, skipper.
Scored his life 5 penalties for England, bro.
Wow, great achievement. Great achievement for Kane. Yeah.
It did what he had to do.
Yeah.
The hate is just seeping through, boy.
Listen,
Like, wow, I would have thought you're an Arsenal fan.
Boy, I've got some things to say about a few players on that team. I'm just waiting, really.
Some of them are Arsenal players too.
Listen, so Kobe Mainu was the standout. First 40 minutes, he never put a step wrong. I watched him meticulously. He was moving the ball very quickly, changing transition, getting everyone involved. Declan Rice put him behind him. I don't know what he was up to. The geezer, Gakpo had him running in circles like he was a 90s sat-nav. The geezer was looking for the ball. He didn't know where he was on the pitch, yeah? So Kano, basically, Kobe was carrying him for at least 40 minutes. Say what you like, guys. I'm just saying how I see it, okay? Now, looking over the whole game, we want to talk about like people beating their players, right? I don't mean to hang anybody out to dry, but if you're going to call yourself Starboy, you cannot let Ake have you in his pocket like a starburst, okay? That's just something you can't do, right? The geezer did nothing for 90 minutes and he's smiling coming off the pitch, proud of what?
We got to a final, man.
Listen.
It's a team game, man. You need everyone to pull their weight.
You got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say that I brought something to the table, yes or no?
He put in his shift, bruv.
Bevan called it in the last show. Bevan called it and said,
I don't want to.
Bevan called it and said he don't get change out of Ake.
Okay.
And once again, he
didn't
get change out of Ake.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were right, but he still looked like a starburst out there anyway. But Ollie Watkins was he came on, he was decisive, first touch, second touch, bang, goal. You know, that's what they brought him on for. And to be fair, I thought he should have came on the last game, but
yeah,
you I think everyone's really got to look at themselves and say, you know, stop giving Gareth a hard time. He has had, I think, 3 or 4 matches on the bounce where he's made changes that have actively changed the game for the positive. England have looked different, they've looked better, and they've come out on the other side winners, whether it be going straight through to penalties, whether it mean scoring in 90 minutes just before the end of the, at the end of 90 minutes. Whatever it is, he's made them changes and they have been the right changes. Maybe they should have been a little bit earlier, but regardless, he's got the result that he wanted out of it. So I think people have got to give him a little bit of kudos. Do you get what I mean? But
who's your man of the match?
My man of the match has to be King Kobe in the middle. He was carrying flipping rice on his back the whole flipping game. So what do you expect? He's got, how old is he? 18? 19? Yeah. So yeah, it's got to go to King Kobe.
You're saying he's like one of them mans in the paddy field, yeah? Carrying rice.
Go on, Bevan.
King Kobe's crazy, bro. He's a prince, man. Don't put that pressure on him. You know what? So I think like England played well for, I'd say like 35 minutes of the first half, and they were at that point of being on top. They looked like they should have scored a goal, and it was one of those games where by not scoring in the first half, it could have come back to bite them in the second half. And usually, with England games for this tournament, it's like a half of football feels like 60 minutes, and in the first half it flew by, and in the second half they reverted back to type.
Yeah.
Koeman made some good changes, as Leon 100. Said, to nullify the midfield, and I suppose that's what you kind of you wanted to see Gareth make changes in the same kind of way to change the tactics or to freshen up the team for stuff happening, because in the second half not a lot was happening. Netherlands weren't doing much either, but they were dangerous from set pieces. Pickford had to pull off a great save to stop it from being to go into 2-1. Yeah, to go into 2-1. So in the end, the game kind of went in a similar kind of way that I thought it would go, because I did say that I thought it was going to be a 2-1 game.
You did. You did.
And that's what happened in the end. It was a hard slog. It was a hard fought game, and England came out on top. So you got to give. It might not be pretty in moments, but you got to give Gareth. You got to give Gareth Bale props.
Gareth Bale.
Sorry, Gareth Bale. Wow. Oh, wow. Gareth Southgate.
Are you a Tottenham fan in disguise?
No, I was thinking about Real Madrid still. But sorry, Gareth Bale. What was I thinking? That's terrible. Yeah, no, you got to give Southgate props. He's got England to another final, and even though they weren't playing great football, that's what you need, isn't it? You make the way to the final. It's 90-minute game after that, or 120 minutes. Anything can happen in that final. I will say Declan Rice was disappointing for that first goal though, because the way he got told to go on a weights program, man. Tomorrow morning, you know what I mean? He's got a strength program to keep up with, because that's not good enough. And it's not even like Javi Simons is that big of a player. He shouldn't be knocking him off the ball like that. Don't get me wrong, great finish, but you got to be looking at yourself after that.
So who's your man of the match?
Can we clip that? Can we clip that? Yeah, from the Arsenal fan. Can we clip that?
Bro, listen, I'm a football fan first, man. I got to call it as I see it. You know, the same way I called that. I didn't think Saka was going to have a good game against Nathan Ake.
No,
I'm not hating.
You called that spot on. Ake had Saka in his pocket, boy, all game.
Yeah, do you know what? There was a point where when they made the substitutions and he had Saka and Cole Palmer on the same side. I was thinking, what is this guy doing? In the end, it worked out because Cole Palmer's the one that put Ollie Watkins through, and it's a great finish. But yeah, in terms of man of the match, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I got to kind of agree. It's hard to pick anyone, but it has to be Kobe Menu.
Yeah, 100.
He was involved in attack and in defense, and he was causing problems all over the pitch. So it goes to Kobe for me.
I think what stopped Kobe in that game in the end is Koeman's tactical change of just locking down the midfield, because once he locked down that midfield, it kind of nullified the game, but then it stopped the success that England were having, and it just basically nullified Kobe, it nullified Jude, and obviously, like we said, Declan wasn't having the greatest game. But
do you know what though? One thing I will say before we go to James is that when it comes to England playing football, I think the difference between watching England play and watching Spain play is the selfless runs and the way that they create space. Sometimes there is no movement. The movement is not. It's just non-existent. It's not
robotic.
Even. Yeah, it's like a guy's not. It's like they've got out. Unless it says on the tactics board to move this way, I'm not going to move that way. Yeah.
And do you know what is also is sometimes it's like players are in the space and the early ball to the wide player would be the ball to do, and it's like they think about it first, and then they have a pass it sideways, and then pass it to the side to the wing, and it's like you've just created an extra pass there for no reason when you could have played it straight away to the winger that was free. Like the amount of times Saka was free, and it went across one first and then out to Saka. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense. But go on, James.
You guys have said most of it, to be fair. Well, what I would say is, as I said, I always look at stats. What I find funny, so I'm looking at FootMob right now, and they gave Harry Kane man of the match with 8. Kobe Mainoo got 7.3. Declan Rice got 7.6. Bellingham got 7.4. And I just think that's mad.
I'm gonna hand the mic to the hater.
I think that's mad. But for me, first half, I was like, okay, cool. They've come to the system that suits them, and they've carried it over from the last game, and it's working. Mainoo's finds his feet. Bellingham's doing okay, and it looked good. I thought the goal came against the run of play completely. They got lucky with the goal for Xavi Simons, and then the penalty. You know what? It's not a penalty, but if that's my team, I want that penalty. And I'm not. If it goes against me, I'm one of those, because he's hanging his foot there, and he's not actually. You can say he's trying to block the ball, but he's not actually trying to get the ball. So I can see why they've given it. He ends up kicking through and then hitting his studs. So it's soft, very soft. But I'm not mad at the fact they've given it, because we've seen it quite a few times. But in terms of Netherlands, he did well second half. I think what actually helped them was Depay getting injured, because when they brought on Behrens, that's when it all started to change a bit for them, because they got more control in the field. It's the truth, though. It's the truth.
That's for you,
when
mate.
When he came off, it changed the game for them, and they started getting a bit of control in midfield. And then obviously, when you bring a sub on, it's hard to tell him exactly what you want him to do. So obviously, when it gets to half time, then you can tell that guy exactly what you want him to do, and that's why the game evened out. Southgate, being Southgate, didn't make his adjustments until a bit later. Shaw coming on was a good move, and obviously a brilliant move for what's his name coming on, bringing on Palmer and Watkins, because Watkins gets the winner, and it's a fantastic goal. I mean, it's what we've seen him do all season. Let's be honest. We've seen him score goals from silly angles, and you're thinking earlier in the tournament, why is he not getting minutes? So, obviously, I think it's probably the better final. I think it would have been a lot easier for Spain to beat the Dutch, if I'm completely honest, than it would be for them to beat England. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good final, and the better team won. I think in both games, I can honestly say the better teams won. So, in that regards, I think we've got from the semi-finals themselves, we've got the better two teams into the final. Man of the match, I'm giving it 50-50. Kobe Mainu, very good game. But for me, for Watkins to come on under that pressure, knowing he's got to do something. He's got to do something, and to take that first touch, not even look and bang it. Sometimes you got to give those guys the man of the match, man. Just for winning you the game, for getting you there. He's hardly played a minute, apart from the second game.
He got man of the match in the stadium, so the stadium agreed with you as well, or whoever makes that decision in the stadium.
And he said live on air as well. He said he told Cole Palmer. He said he swears on his kids and his mum and everything's life that Cole Palmer was going to give him an assist and he was going to score the winner, and he did, or he was going to score. That's
easy to say when you're both coming on the pitch and you're trying to make an impact. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he did it. He did it. So, congrats to them. So we'll swiftly move on because we are running out of time. We'll move on to the final itself, and we'll go for match predictions, the score predictions, and who you guys think are going to win it. So we'll start with you, Leon. You're on mute. I didn't even notice at first. I would have gone to someone else. My bad.
I thought you were going to someone else. I'm not going to lie. I was making sure I didn't say that and I was supposed to say.
I'm switching it up. You
are switching it up. I actually think England are going to do it, you know. I don't know how. I don't know why. But the way that they've gone through this tournament, just doing what needs to be done to win the game, things are falling in their favour. The draw, fortuitous refereeing decisions, late winners. I think Spain obviously have played the best throughout the tournament, but sometimes the best team don't always win. And the way, as I said, England have gone through, I can just see them winning. I actually think the score will be 1-1, and I think England will win on pens.
Okay. Lamont?
Mine's pretty simple. It's going to go to injury time. And I honestly do feel that England are going to win it. I don't know how.
This is the one I was expecting. I thought we were going to say Spain.
I've got a splitting headache right now.
In the waters,
but it's the truth. You know what I mean? I hate on things that are factual, but I can't hate on that because they have got the momentum. They really have got the momentum. So yeah, that's pretty much it. England to win in injury time. Oof.
Oh, cool. Bevan?
I can't see no one. I think Spain are going to win it. I've gone against Spain in the last two games.
And now you're going to ruin them, bro, by going with them.
I'm not ruining them. I think Spain are going to do it. I don't think England has played a team with the level of quality that Spain have got.
No way.
And the level of industry that they've got in that team is going to be different class, and they could get overrun in the midfield. So I'm going to go Spain. I think it's going to be close. So I think England will score because it's happened to Spain. They've conceded against Georgia, against Germany, and against the last who did France. Yeah, France. Against France. So I think England will score, but I think Spain will win 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1.
Oh, you didn't get your predictions, the other two.
Yeah, but Lamont said injury time. Oh, you mean score?
Injury time, but it'll be 3-2. So it'll be 2-2, 90 minutes, and then England will win 3-2 in the last bit of the injury time. What
injury time are we talking about? Extra time or normal time?
Extra time.
I meant extra time, not injury time. Okay. Extra time. My bad.
Cool.
Like you all said, it's been crazy. It's been crazy roller coaster ride for England. I feel like they're going to go into this final now having won the way they did. They've done the penalty thing. They've done the last minute goal. You see the players coming off the pitch smiling before the match was even done. You see them afterwards all celebrating with each other, talking, huddling, cuddling, doing their thing. I think they're going to this final with the utmost confidence. And I think that could be their downfall.
I was about to say, bro, because you know what? Spain were exactly the same yesterday, bro. They were celebrating, laughing, and smiling too, bro. But I'm glad that you said it like that.
No, but they by rights they've been able to do that because they've been the best team in all tournament, and they've deserved it. And they overcome a threat that was France. Yeah, England have overcome a threat that was the Dutch team, but let's be honest,
Spain have had a tough draw, man.
The Dutch are beatable. Yeah, they've been on the hard side of the draw, and I think England might have got to the point now where they think, yeah, we're confident, and you know what? I can't even say what I'm going to say, like your parents would say, but reality is going to give them a kick because you can't sit deep, you can't play this slow kind of weight build up football against Spain because they will hurt and they will damage you. And I think it's going to be a close game because England are going to stay in it, and I think they're going to be on the rocks. I think England will score, like Lamont said. I don't think they're going to score 2 though. They'll make it 2-2, but I think what will happen is England will be drawing with Spain at 1-1, and then either in the last minute of injury time or in extra time, Spain are going to nick it and hurt the English hearts again in the final, and they're going to win 2-1 either in injury time or extra time. That's what I'm going with.
Okay, I'm going with England to win. England will win 2-1. I think it'll be normal time. I want them to win because I want this coming home to end because then they can stop saying it. Stop saying it because it will have arrived here. But no, I think I've said it to people a lot through this tournament. But people have told me about England playing rubbish. I said, sometimes you need to beat the team that's in front of you. Doesn't matter how you do it. You just have to beat the team that's in front of you, and that's what they've done. They haven't won every single game, but they've got the job done every single time they need to get it done. And I just get the feeling that they're going to get the job done. Spain will play better than them, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind Spain will be the better team on the day, but England will somehow get it over the line. Midfield-wise, I think the way they played today, they played well in midfield today, and I think that bodes well. And Kane getting his goal and getting taken off at an important moment, because every time he's been taken off, he's been taken off in extra time. This time was taken off within the 90 minutes. So I think that might sting him. They've won, and he's happy they've won, but I might spur him on to actually step it up in the final. And I reckon he's going to get the winning goal, 2-1.
Raw.
I honestly don't think he cares, you know. Look, he's
as long as they win.
Yeah.
He's captain. If he gets to lead them out in the final, and if he gets to lift that European trophy at the end of it, he don't care whether he's come off and whether he's even... Look, he's still in with a shout for top goal scorer.
Bro,
if he scores.
forget all that. That'll be his first ever trophy, bruv. Ever.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
So yeah, he's not going to care.
He's not caring.
I'll tell you what, though. Pedri not being available for this game is a saviour for England. I think he could have made such a difference.
And Gavi.
I think Omo is a player, but I think he can be controlled more than what Pedri can be. For me personally, and I think that could be a blessing for England.
Mm.
Yeah, different types of players as well.
But I think you're forgetting about Fabian Ruiz because
he's a controller.
Yeah, he could be player of the tournament.
Quite true.
But it'll be Rodri though. If they win it, it'll be Rodri. Probably or Yamal.
Yeah.
But don't they have a young player? Because Yamal might get young player.
No, they do have young players as well.
Yeah,
they do. But yeah, it's true. But you can get. Has someone got both before? You never know. You can get both.
I don't know if anyone's
Armchair.
got it. Yeah.
So who's Jamal going to be up against though? It's going to be interesting.
I think whoever's
never
there,
tried.
they're gonna have a problem, bro.
Williams. I mean, on a day.
Not as in he'd be up against. He's gonna be against Trippier or Shaw, isn't it?
I think he'll do the same thing. I don't think Shaw's ready to start. I think he'll do Trippier to start the game, and then he'll take Trippier off because
That's a problem.
that's all he can do.
That's a big
Listen,
problem. Trippier against Lamont,
Trippier
bro.
needs to get prepared for that charcoal bag. Yeah,
If I'm honest with you, I'll be bringing on Gomez. But he can't start Gomez randomly in the final. He hasn't played a single minute.
You can't.
But he's probably the best to stop him in terms of to actually stop him.
He'll take him out, boy. He'll take him out. Nothing long. He'll get nasty.
Yeah. So okay, all right. We have overstayed our welcome on this pod, but thank you very much, guys.
Actually, I'll just say one last question because it's better to say it now. If Southgate wins it, does he stay for the World Cup?
He's gone regardless.
Opinions.
I think he's gone.
He's gone regardless.
Bevan?
I mean, if he wasn't gone, I think you kind of got to stay in it. You got to give him one roll at the dice.
No. What would you do if you were him? Because this is not about if he wins. He decides whether he's going or staying, not the FA.
No. I think you got to go for the World Cup, man.
No, I'll go.
That's the prize.
You in a lose-lose situation where
the way he's been abused in this tournament,
James,
you go out and go on that win.
Thing.
You go out and that win, bruv.
Mhm.
If I'm honest though, I've also noticed that this is the first time that he's actually acknowledged the media and outed them to say that how they affected the team.
Mhm.
And I think for him to do that this time in his tenure, he's already thinking, regardless of the result, I'm out of it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
100%.
I'm out of it.
And we've
I'm
seen
going
it
to
with
go on
other
the high,
England managers.
regardless of what the high is. I'm going out on the high. So you can see he was happy, man, at full time, and kudos to him. So he deserves it, honestly. I think he
should duck out for his own
If
sake.
he ducks out,
100%.
I look at him like he's a what's it.
But does he care though, bro? He's won a Euros, bro. He don't care about your opinion.
You win the Euros and you move on, bruv. You win it and
He
you
don't
move
care
on.
about your opinion, bro.
I know he don't care. He don't care about no one's opinion,
No,
really, does he?
exactly.
Because look at you.
He makes the same decisions.
Just
does
before
what
we
he
go,
wants.
just before we
does what he
go,
wants.
Arsenal haven't won a Premier League in over 25 years, and I ain't looking at Arsenal like a what's it. So
What are you talking about?
I still got respect for you, Dons.
Brother,
I've still got respect for you.
what has that got to do with Gareth Southgate? Are we just saying stuff now? Are we just saying random stuff? Purple. I could do it too, bruv. What are we doing?
Rumour has it he could be the next Arsenal manager.
Never.
On that note, good evening, fellas. Take it easy.
In a bit.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and to share. Peace.
Later.